And where most of the club cricketers or most of the cricketers that want to play for India in the future, who play for respective clubs in Bombay, first come and watch their cricket from. They watch it keenly. You should have a full house for most of these days of the Test match. India hasn't played in India for quite some time, so there will be tremendous interest regarding the Test match here. But it's always great, Michael, when you're still playing cricket and you have a stand named after you.
I think that is the way to go, Ravi. I see in years gone by, not so much these days, so many people being honoured after they have passed on. What is the point of honouring them after they have passed on? They certainly haven't got a clue that they are being honoured. I think it's great to honour cricketers once they are still alive and can appreciate it.
Yes, and you can see the presentation there. It was made for two players. Carl Hooper playing his 100th Test match today. Don't forget, he played his first Test match on this ground. So he has been given a memento by the MCA as well as from the BCCI. And on behalf of the BCCI and the MCA, there will be special mementos presented to both these players. On behalf of the BCCI, the President of the Board of Control for Cricket in India, Mr. Jagmohan Dalmia, will first present a memento to Carl Hooper. Carl Hooper's 100th Test match. And now for Sachin Tendulkar, again given by Mr. Jagmohan Dalmia. 101 Test matches. The hometown boy. And now, on behalf of the Mumbai Cricket Association, the President, Mr. Sharad Pawar, will present a memento to Mr. Carl Hooper. And now one for Sachin Tendulkar for his 101st game. Mr. Sharad Pawar, the President of the Mumbai Cricket Association. Well, a great day for both these players. And that concludes the presentation ceremony. That happened earlier today, a special day for two players. Tendulkar playing his 101st Test, but Carl Hooper playing his 100th Test match. He's been around for a long, long time. In fact, he played his first Test match on this very ground, the Wankhede Stadium. I still have Danny Morrison and Michael Holding with me. Michael, the humidity factor. It's so hot and sultry here. It's going to take its toll, especially on the West Indian fast bowlers.
I think so. When I came in last night, I landed at about 11 p.m. and the temperature was 87 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm not too sure what the humidity is, but perhaps near to 100. But it certainly will take its toll. That's why I said earlier on, Robin, that we have to get some early wickets.
Danny Morrison, you tell me, you're from New Zealand.
Mate, it has been raining, it's been cold, and you come to this, I mean, the humidity, the warmth, it's always a factor here in India, and I mean exactly that, Ravi. You've got to take that intake of water and all those sort of things and be very, very careful.
Yes, play about to start here at the Wankhede Stadium. We'll be back shortly after the break.
तुम अपनी पसंद का खाना खाओ, मैं कुछ कॉल्स करके आई।
ये BT
So India won the toss, decided to bat first. Pretty strong Indian team. Sanjay Banga there, the top of the order, and then all the way down. Some good batsmen in that batting lineup. Wicketkeeper Parthiv Patel wins his place back, and Javagal Srinath comes back into the Indian side. West Indies a pretty strong side as well, even without Brian Lara. Very strong batting lineup, and then the pace bowlers down at the bottom: Mervyn Dillon, Pedro Collins, Cameron Cuffey, Nagamutu, the only spinner in the West Indian lineup. So play about to start here at the Wankhede Stadium. The players are already out onto the field, and starting off in the commentary box, Michael Holding and Sanjay Manjrekar.
Thank you very much, Ravi. Sanjay Bangar is the man on screen. Of course, the all-rounder for the Indian team. He'll also bowl some seamers later on. And with him is, of course, the sensational Virendra Sehwag. The two right-handed opening batsmen for India. Merv Dillon will start proceedings here. Bowl the first ball of this Test series, the Excite Cup, between India and West Indies. 3 Test matches followed by 7 one-day internationals. And here we have the first ball. Just to update you on what happened, India won the toss and decided to bat first. It was always going to be a tricky decision. It's a newly laid pitch and the focus of all attention. Nobody knows how it's going to be played. In fact, the ball that Merv Dillon bowled on that pitch is the first ball ever bowled on this newly laid pitch. There's been no practice games, nothing at all on that. Just having a look at the batting records of these two opening batsmen for India. Merv Dillon. Huge noise there as always at the Wankhede Stadium. Mumbai crowd always very vocal, and with me is Michael Holding. Good morning, Michael.
Good morning, Sanjay, and hello to all our viewers wherever they may be. This should be a very interesting Test series, and this could be an interesting Test match depending, of course, on how well the West Indies bowl. They have first use of this pitch as far as bowling is concerned, which I think should suit them. 3 fast bowlers in the team.
Well, I thought Saurav Ganguly did the right thing. The golden rule in cricket is when in doubt, bat first. Nobody knows how the pitch is, so he's taken the positive decision. But teams batting first here at Wankhede Stadium haven't done too well over the years, but that cannot be held as a yardstick for today's match because, as we keep saying, new surface. The last time India batted first in a Test match was against Australia, and I think they lost 5 wickets in the first session, ended up getting just 176 runs in the first innings. First runs of Sanjay Bangar's bat, and India is off the mark.
I suppose as a fast bowler, if a boundary is going to be coming off your bowling, that is pretty much the ideal area for it to be coming through the slip cordon. Thick outside edge, no chance there at all. The ball went straight down to ground, but at least it shows that Mervyn Dillon is on the right line. That's where he needs to be bowling. He has 3 slips on the gully, but India off to a pretty good start. 4 runs on the board.
It's a pretty curious pitch. The look of the pitch is very interesting. Again, a good delivery, good line, and the length also, getting the batsman to play on the front foot at the moment. Merv Dillon. We talked about the pitch. It's the red soil at Mumbai, which is very striking, and what really has got everybody's attention is the sprinkling of grass, which is quite uneven. There are some bare patches and some layer of grass on the other areas.
Well, that's something that you're not too accustomed to here in Bombay, seeing grass on the surface.
End of the first over, 4 for no wicket. 1 over gone, the first over of this Test match series, the Excite Cup Test match, the first one at the Wankhede Stadium. And of course, just a reminder for the DD National viewers, there's some Hindi commentary for you on DD National. Pedro Collins, left arm over the wicket, 3 slips Senegali and a short leg. Virendra Sehwag on strike. A good start. No ball, but the ball was a tester. First up for Sehwag.
Pedro Collins has been getting the ball to swing back into the right-handers quite a lot in recent times. A bit disappointing starting off with a no ball, though, the very first ball in this series. Could be a troublesome customer if he does get that ball to swing. Have a look at that. It certainly swung. Would have missed leg stump, but there's swing there for him.
Best of 6 for 76, and he's had a good series against India in West Indies. Troubled quite a few batsmen. Virendra Sehwag is off the mark, and the ball slowing down considerably. There's a bit of a thick cover of grass there on the leg side from this end. So a couple of runs for Virendra Sehwag.
Sanjay, you were just talking about the outfield and that a few areas are a bit lush. Well, it seems as if they have tried to put up decoration on this outfield with the striping that you can see there. But instead of actually having all the grass at the same height and cutting it in different directions so that you do get the differentiation in color, what they have done is cut areas shorter than others, which isn't quite the thing to do. I think this definitely shows. You can see the difference in height with the cutting of the grass. And great, you want the outfield to look quite impressive, but that's not quite the way to get it done. The grass has been cut in the same height, but in different directions, so as you get the different coloration, not cutting it different heights.
And of course, that was the reason why the ball really slowed down on the leg side when Sehwag played a flick off his hips. Normally the ball travels longer when he plays that shot, but because of that very different kind of mowing that we've seen on the field, that ball really slowed down considerably. There again, you see the difference in height. The lush green that you see is much thicker, and it's much barer in between. So that's something that we'll have to get used to, and the batsman obviously must have noted that fact. On the helmet. Now that's something that you don't see happen often with Virendra Sehwag. But that's a good delivery to start a test match. Leg by signal, he was trying to get out of the way.
That's very interesting. Pedro Collins is not the quickest man in the world, and yet Virendra Sehwag getting hit on the helmet as he did there.
Maybe the length wasn't short enough for him to get that early indication of the short delivery, and also didn't quite spot Pedro Collins put in anything extra. Sanjay Bangar on strike. Five overs gone, 12 for no wicket. Hot and sultry that's how the test match is going to be played in. The conditions here are very, very testing for the cricketers. If they thought there would be some respite from the Champions Trophy travelling from Colombo to India, they had another thing coming. If at all, I think it's going to be even warmer. For no wicket, no damage done yet. It's been a cautious start for Indians, especially Virendra Sehwag. A very uncharacteristic start. Pedro Collins over the wicket. Uncharacteristic, I said, but not for long. First boundary for Sehwag.
Made that look very easy, Virendra Sehwag. Nothing wrong with the line. I think he erred there as far as length was concerned. Was giving him enough time to go back and punch it easily through the offside. Not the quickest of pitches. It's a new pitch, yes, it's supposed to encourage pace and bounce, but I wouldn't say it's the quickest that I've seen.
Couple of boundaries and couple of deliveries for Sehwag. This time it was glided down to third man. Brings a smile on his face.
Another boundary, but certainly a much better delivery this from Pedro Collins. Slanted across the right-hander, hitting the thick out a half of the bat. But as usual, whenever there's a gap in that slip cord and the ball will find it. Carl Hooper deciding to dispense with the forward short leg, put another man into that slip cordon, try and cover that area.
Carl Hooper in his 100th test match. There was a felicitation this morning marking the occasion for Carl Hooper. We were talking about Sehwag's footwork as to how late he moves his feet till the very last minute. And just have a look at this. The ball is almost in the picture and then the feet start moving. He's well on top of that delivery on that occasion. Very late mover of the feet when it comes to batting. Sehwag.
And it's more a jump. Normally you'd find the batsman moving the right leg back and across. Both feet more move together. They're just a jump back down to the off stump.
Just mentioned Carl Hooper's 100th test match here at the Wankhede Stadium. Another look at the unique batting technique of Virendra Sehwag. Played his first test match here at Wankhede Stadium as well. It is quite amazing coincidence. Made his mark on that first trip here to India. I remember getting a brilliant 100 at Gwalior it was in the one-day international. 87-88. At the time I made my debut against you guys. Baptism by fire it was.
I just left the scene. A gentleman in the back of the box who played just about that particular era.
This is the debut test match and West Indies won by 9 wickets. So he added that little bit of luck to the side. But India went on to win the test series. End of the over. It's 20 for no wicket.
तुम अपनी पसंद का खाना खाओ मैं कुछ कॉल्स करके आई
ये BT
Merv Dillon in his 4th over. Sanjay Bangar has looked much better in defence than Sehwag. Just going back to that test match, 1987-88, Carl Hooper's test debut at this very ground.
I'm sure the West Indies would love to have bowlers of the calibre of Courtney Walsh and Patrick Patterson in this lineup. That pace around, I'm sure it could have been effective on this surface. But that was a good start. Carl Hooper will be looking to repeat that dose here in this his 100th test. We are seeing quite a few different changes in the field. Carl Hooper not sitting around idle and just allowing things to drift. He's constantly thinking about what he can do to take an early wicket, and there's that man being placed. Silly mid-off, silly point, whichever you prefer to call him. I think he's just in front of square, so you could say it's a silly mid-off instead of a silly point. There he is. So there's a forward short leg and a silly mid-off. And that is the right length. Bring him forward, look for that inside edge onto the pad and bring that silly mid-off into play. Inside edge pad catch, that's what they're hoping for.
Contrasting approach of Sanjay Bangar and Sehwag. Sehwag is looking to stay in his crease, looking to play on the back foot, as opposed to Sanjay Bangar, who is trying to get his bat and pad together in a front foot defense. He's looking to get onto the front foot, and that's one of the reasons the silly mid-off is there for him. Good leave. Just to remind you, 3 players were left out of the Indian 11. Ashish Mehra, who may have not recovered completely from the injury that he sustained in Sri Lanka. S.S. Das also not playing, and Amit Mishra, of course, the new leg spinner, was drafted in the squad, not playing. So you'll have Javagal Srinath coming back to Test cricket, and Zahir Khan will be the other seamer. So they've included Harbhajan Singh and Anil Kumble as the 2 spinners. Let's just have a look at the Indian team that will do duty here at the Wankhede Stadium. Sanjay Bangar and Sehwag are out there opening the innings. Dravid, rock solid at number 3. Tendulkar in his 101st Test match at number 4. Plenty of depth in the Indian batting. Parthiv Patel will be the wicket keeper, age 17. There's the Indian team. Anil Kumble there in the forefront. John Wright, as always, making notes. S.S. Das in the white shirt, not playing today. And Javagal Srinath there. He might just look at the day being pretty easy for him. That's what he'll be hoping. Michael Holding made a point about Hooper being very alert and innovative, not sitting back and waiting for things to happen. We've got another field change for Sanjay Bangar. A maiden over, 7 overs gone, 20 for no wicket. He's looked good in defense, Sanjay Bangar, especially when he's looking to play on the front foot. First bowling change being made by West Indies. Cameron Cuffey has been introduced. It's been a very steady start for India. They've been watchful, 20 for no wicket. Time for a change in commentary. It's going to be Ravi Shastri and Ian Bishop in English, and for our Hindi viewers it's going to be Maninder Singh and Arun Lal.
Thank you, Sanjay. Interesting to see the surface already. It seems a little too paced. There was quite a bit of dampness early on, and that's why you can see the odd ball just stopping on the batsman, dying on the way to the keeper. Virender Sehwag, he prefers playing off the back foot. His initial movement is to get back and across and then play the waiting game. Very dangerous player, because he could be beaten twice or thrice in an over, and yet if you don't get it right, he'll hit the boundaries. see his movement. He prefers to play off the back foot early on. Cameron Coffey has been in and out of the West Indies side. He's had problems with injury. It's not quite express pace at the moment, but bowls with a lot of control. And Ian used more as a stock bowler these days.
Yeah, that's right. Morning to everyone. He will do a job for the West Indies. And that's the good thing about Cameron Coffey. He's got very good control, very metronomic in his approach. And he will be looking to just keep one end tidy. He's not an attacking bowler. He's been around for some time, and I don't think that he'll be able to change that mold, that concept, that mindset, even if he tries at this age.
Just drifting onto the pads. The atmosphere building up around this Wankhede Stadium. I think the fact that India have won the toss and decided to bat, I would imagine a lot more people would come into the stadium in the second session of play. India haven't played at home for quite some time. They've toured the West Indies, they've been in England. But a pretty good turnout for day one. .21 for no loss.
Oh my. He'll be looking to keep one end very tight. Let's block it up and picks up a couple of wickets, and his team will be all that much happier. And they've got to remove one of these batsmen as soon as possible.
Just looking to attack Bangar a little more now. He's got a man at silly mid-off. There's a man at back pad as well. He's a player who plays within his limitations. There's nothing flashy about Sanjay Bangar's batting, but he's got a good temperament. Pretty organised with his technique as well.
That's why they've got that silly mid-off for Sanjay Bangar. He looks to get forward at every given opportunity. And what that silly mid-off is intended to do, as much as he's there, Ramnaresh Sawan, as much as he's there for maybe a bad pad catch that might pop up, but also inhibit the batsman or put some doubt into his mind, trying to stop him from coming forward, maybe play back to delivery that he should be forward to. Must be a fraction late, indecisive. Could cause some problems.
It's a pretty balanced Indian side. This, if you look at it, plenty of options for Sourav Ganguly even when they take the field. Sanjay Bangar is an all-rounder. He can be handy with the ball as well, to bowl a few overs to just give the strike bowlers some rest. And with players like Bangar and Sehwag, who can both bowl, that helps the balance of the side. There's pace in the form of Srinath and Zahir. And Sanjay Bangar can roll his arm over to bowl a few overs to give them some rest. And two specialist spinners, Kumble and Harbhajan Singh. And then there's Sehwag as well, who can come in and bowl a few overs. So it's a nicely balanced side, this. Interesting to see how long Hooper will take to just try one of his spinners. I don't think it's a bad idea early on to just see how the surface is going to behave. Try Nagamoto, or probably try himself. He's a pretty useful off spinner. This field will give Banga the single, and he'll keep the strike. 22 for no loss.
Very uncharacteristic of Ryan Hines to make such a simple error. He's a very good fielder, very mobile. You will not want to remember that.
So India 22 for no loss. And this is the first test match of the Excite Test series. No experimenting here. This is a proper test series. We saw on the Champions Trophy that was recently held in Colombo. There was plenty of experimentations with the third umpire. Even with the lights, you had not only red and green but the amber as well. But here it's just red or green. Even the leg before decisions cannot be referred to the third umpire.
Of course, one of the things coming to the subcontinent as a young team is a quick, you've got to get over that psychological barrier, psychological hurdle of thinking, well, the pitches are going to be bare, I'm just going to have to work hard, I might not have much success. It's only a mindset, and that's the barrier that has to be overcome by these young quicks. Dylan in particular has had success out at the West Indies before, picked up a 5-wicket haul in Pakistan in 1997, so he's got to remember those things. Same types of pitches, and a couple of pitches in the Caribbean, in Antigua in particular, that are very hard work. But you must believe that if you get the ball in the right areas often enough, regardless of wherever you are in the world, that you can succeed and you will get wickets. Might take a little longer than on some pitches, and there is all that possibility once you get it in the right areas.
Banger will look for two and get it comfortably. Plenty of time to play the ball there for Banga. He's got a pretty good record against the Indians, averaging under 30, 27 wickets, and 5 for 71 his best. He really is the spearhead of this West Indian attack.
He's only got 2 5-wicket hauls in Test cricket, but his average is below his career average. He really has been bowling well over the last year or two, so that average is coming down.
He's wasting that last delivery. 24 for no loss.
तुम अपनी पसंद का खाना खाओ, मैं कुछ कॉल्स करके आई।
ये BT
Would bowl on this surface. Roger Harper's been trying to get the guys to bowl a fuller length.
It's very important you do that on this surface because it's so bowling change now. Mervyn Dillon being given a break and Nagamutu, the leg spinner, being brought into the attack. I think it's a good move just to try and see if there's something there for the spinners. There's a brown colour to it, the surface. Like I mentioned a little while earlier, it's on the slower side. It's not the kind of pitch where a batsman can come out and blaze away to 103 hours. You've got to graft, you've got to spend some time out there in the middle to know exactly what shots you can play, because the ball is not coming onto the bat. Well, you won't find out if there is some spin in this pitch, because the ball has to land. Nagamutu lucky to get away with that one.
And of course, if there's a little bit of moisture in the pitch, often in the first morning, it can help the ball to turn a bit. He's not a big spinner of the ball, but his accuracy is probably his strength. It just seems to be very slow at the moment. And you won't see him spinning it from outside leg stump to off stump.
Loud shout here. He was playing forward and had just been struck outside the line. Nagamutu again looking to push the ball through. That's well played. With an offer for Banga, and he's put it away. It's 28 for no loss. So the boundary to end the over. Can't afford to drop shot on this track. Batsman has enough time to play off the back foot. .28 for no loss. Cameron Cuffey will continue, and in the commentary box now, Danny Morrison will be joined by Sanjay Manjre.
Thank you, Ravi Shastri. It's a nice delivery. Too short, too wide, and it's always going to disappear if you bowl there. Cameron Cuffey, the big fella from the far end here at Wankiti. Going to find it very, very tough on the surface. At the age of 32, 33, Cameron Cuffey, Sanjay Manjrekar, to say he's going to, well, be used as a stock bowler here by Carl Hooper. Just doesn't do a heck of a lot in the air, but wants to bowl line and length. And I think it's a good toss, don't you think, to win it?
Well, we keep saying about how the pitch has been the focus of attention, and I'm sure both captains must have thought it's a good toss to lose. But Ganguly did the right thing. The golden rule in cricket is when you win the toss and you don't know how the pitch is going to play, bat first. When in doubt, bat first. And I think that's what Ganguly has done. He's kept it simple. He's kept it positive. And he'll be very delighted with the result. 28 for no wicket is a good start at Wankhede Stadium. You played it before, Danny. A lot of things happened in the first 2 hours in a test match here. Last time India were here, they lost 5 wickets against Australia, but this pitch a lot different from the earlier pitches. Cameron Cuffey has played in the last test match that was played here against West Indies, so he knows a bit about the conditions here. The surface, different.
Well, Sanjay, they know that Shiwag doesn't like it short. But the hard thing they're going to have, even though he's not a tall man, he's going to find it difficult on the surface, because I was thinking just off air we were talking about is that this surface is a little underprepared. Just a little bit of time factor in terms of Tendulkar playing 101. They wanted to play it here. They've swapped things around. So just personally, I just think it's a little underprepared. Ian Bishop touched on that, how slow it is. Oh, and that's another beautiful stroke. Don't bother running for that. Even though it's fairly lush here in Mumbai, it just races away.
John Wright will be happy with the change in the pitch, perhaps because Sehwag has got the shot going. If that is the case, then the pace in the pitch has improved. He was struggling to get the shot away, wasn't getting any power behind it because of the lack of speed off the deck. It seems like he's slowly starting to improve the pitch. A lot different from when you played last time. We saw John Wright in the picture there, your captain, the last time you played here, Danny.
Well, I caught up with Wrighty just before the start of today's play, and we went back to those heady days of 1988, 14 years ago. Right, the ball skidded through a bit on that occasion. Something a bit slower here. 14 overs have gone here. It's 32 without loss.
और आप फोन करती रहना. बाय.
कौन सा?
नबीला. अब वो बर्मिंघम में है.
BT टुगेदर से सिर्फ 18.50 प्रति माह चुकाने से, जिसमें लाइन रेंटल भी शामिल है, आप शाम और वीकेंड की UK कॉल्स बिल्कुल मुफ्त में कर सकते हैं।
रोशन
वही ना जो तुम्हारा पुराना
दोस्त हुआ करता था।
अब तक तो शायद वो एक मोटा और खड़ूस आदमी बन गया होगा।
क्यों? तुमसे शादी नहीं की क्या?
BT आपके लिए क्या कर सकते हैं, ये जानने के लिए BT एशियन हेल्पलाइन को मुफ्त में फोन करें।
Angamutu to continue. That's a bit of length. That's a bit of length. As Ravi Sastry said, he's going to find it hard here because it'll be slow turn. So running into the 15th over on day one of this test series. But just chatting about the underprepared nature here. Wankiti. And Sanjay, it seems it's always spun here, but I'll be intrigued to know if it spins quite quickly or quite slowly on days, perhaps, you know, well, later tomorrow, days 3 and days 4.
There's always been a bit of spin in Wankhede, spin with bounce, and especially in the first half of the match, when you're talking about the second and third day, there is some sharp spin, quick spin for the spinners. Nagamutu is not the kind of spinner who will give us the idea about how much turn there is in the pitch. He's very quick in the air, beaten by pace was the batsman because he's so quick. It does get slower and slower, the spin, but a good delivery.
It's hurried on, didn't it? It was always going down. Not a hard decision for umpire David Shepherd. I'm just really concerned about this. Bunga, you have to have a good look. He's happy to do so. Yeah, I think it's a very good toss to win, Sanjay, because of the heat factor, the humidity factor that is here, around 37 degrees Celsius, and the humidity factor is around 85%. And it's a better over there. Maiden there, still 32 without loss. India won the toss this morning. They've put on 32 in just over the hour. It's been hard work here for the West Indians. Now Sanjay, it's pretty amazing, isn't it, really? I mean, he's a special character. Sanjay, you'd appreciate it, playing alongside Sachin Tendulkar. They've opened a stand. In fact, the test match was changed, wasn't it, from Campbell? Well, it's interesting that they can do that, because change it around. I mean, it's a special occasion and what have you, and I sort of chuckle about this. Only in the subcontinent you can do that.
Yes, we've got the Vijay Merchant stand here at the Wankhede Stadium. There's the Sunil Gavaskar stand. And then, of course, you mentioned the Sachin Tendulkar stand, which was opened just before the start of the match. And it's one of the good things and unique about Mumbai. A lot of players' presence is there at this venue. We mentioned Sunil Gavaskar Vijay Merchant stand. This is the Vijay Merchant stand, which is the west stand. And on the opposite side is, of course, Sunil Gavaskar stand, the east stand. And that's where the most knowledgeable sit, Danny. You don't want to be there too close. Virendra Sehwag is getting better and better with time. Square of the wicket is the area that he loves to play at.
He certainly does, and we saw that recently in Colombo with the ICC Champions Trophy just a week or so ago. And if you give this man width, he's not afraid to give it a slash outside off stump. Even though there's 3 slips in a gully, he really backs himself, Sehwag. And the hand-eye and speed through in which he hits the ball, quite incredible. Strike rate, well, don't worry about that. This is Test match cricket. We've gone away from the one-day game. He's already hit 4 fours. He's just going along quite nicely. 4 boundaries already in 19. Yes, I've always been intrigued about touring this part of the world, Sanjay, is that Indians are just so knowledgeable at the game. They just love their game. They just love it. They just love their cricket.
They have mentioned the stands in the name of former cricketers. There's also a dressing room named after Vijay Manjrekar, who happened to be my old man Danny. And there is a gate which gets you into the Wankhede Stadium named after Paulium Riga, former India captain. There's another gate named after Vinu Mankad, another Mumbai and India former cricketer, left arm spinner, all-rounder. So a lot of cricketing presence.
Well, where's your stand? What's going on there, old son? Dad's got one. Or a gate. To get that sorted. Well, this is another beautiful stroke through the offside. Didn't quite get to the pitch of it. It doesn't matter. It has disappeared over the rope.
You just get the feeling that the pitch is improving. We were talking about the slowness in the pitch, the ball not coming out. It may have been because of whatever little moisture there was, because this one is hit on the up by Sehwag and it's gone pretty well off the bat. So another suggestion that the ball is coming on to the bat to his liking. Not really the perfect kind of speed off the pitch, but still good enough for Sehwag to play on the up.
I just think Sanjay, he likes Cuffy's pace. He's lost a little bit of zip over the years. And he's just there and thereabouts. Another over completed here at Wankhede. India 40 without loss.
तुम अपनी पसंद का खाना खाओ, मैं कुछ कॉल्स करके आई थी।
ये बीटी
Very pleasant stadium. Bunga facing up to Nagamutu from the broadcasting end. Just got a little bit too leg-sided here.
Sanjay Banga just playing this ball down the legs, and just have a look how he quickly gets off the pitch. Well, he knows the pitch can get scuffed up very quickly. You can already see a bit of effect of the running. The top is coming off Danny.
I was just going to say, I do recall in that game back in 1988 that got told off a few times running down the wicket when yours truly just spent a little bit of time in the middle, which was a bit bizarre. But yes, it does scar up very quickly here using those half and half spikes. And you can get into trouble here. The umpire's very vigilant on that, keeping off the wicket. And an interesting piece there. See the way this pitch is, there's a little rectangular area there that is shaven. very unique, Sandra. It's a different part of the pitch there, and the players want to keep off it as much as possible.
Well, again, Sehwag was driving that one beautifully. The pace was taken off by the fielder at short extra cover because he had played that in the gap. So saved 3 runs. The fielder at short extra cover, Carl Hooper. Well, of course, we are seeing an India-New Zealand combination in the commentary box, and it's been the same combination that's got the pitch for us, Danny. The New Zealand Sports Turf Institute. They're the ones. We'll talk about it later. 17 overs, 42 for no wicket. I just mentioned the New Zealand Sports Turf Institute. They were here and they laid out the guidelines to prepare pitches in India, because over the years there's been this talk about getting more bounce in our pitches. So they picked out 10 centres in the country where they would change the nature of the pitch. The soil is local, but it's been prepared according to the specification.
Bunga 14 not out, and Sehwag 24 off 51 deliveries faced. He's been more the aggressive, but he's also taken a couple on the head. Just a little bit of indifferent bounce, a little bit too paced early on. Hard new ball. It's 17 overs old, this cricket ball. And things are just starting to look as though they're settling down on the surface. There's always a little bit of angle from Cuffy. Just nips it back in off the straight. This will be interesting. Just got the feeling may have got a bit of inside edge. Very late mover of the feet. The ball is halfway down the pitch, and that's when the feet start moving. Just a bit of inside edge. If that wasn't the case, that would have been a very, very good shout. The keeper wasn't going down leg side. That ball would have crashed onto middle and leg. Ashoka De Silva from Sri Lanka, the umpire. Yes, Danny, we were just talking about the pitches and the commitment that India has made to make more sporting pitches. It's been a talk for over the years, as I've said, but the man who took the decision of getting it and delivering those promises is the man there in the white shirt and blue tie, Mr. Jagmohan Dalmia, the president of BCCI. And to his left, the chief of Sahara, Subrat Roy, and of course to Mr. Dalmia's right in the whites is Sharad Pawar. Pawar and power of Virendra Sehwag. Sharad Pawar, of course, the president of the Mumbai Cricket Association. Well, I take my hat off to that. That's the initiative they've gone to, as you're alluding to, saying these pitches have to be developed, because they do. All around the world, you're trying to do this. Get surfaces that come on and bounce, and because, as you so rightly point out, the Indians struggle so much overseas. They really do. They're great at home in the subcontinent, but they have this very, very average record when they play away. Last time they won was 1986 in England. So, yeah, I do. I really applaud that. You need surface at bounce and have carry and be more consistent with that. And that is what you look for as a cricketer, don't you? Pace and bounce and consistency.
And it's something that New Zealand also did, isn't it? They changed the nature of pitches all over New Zealand, and it's starting to show results. The New Zealand team now showing better performances outside New Zealand, isn't it?
Yeah, well pointed out, because they're actually using some portable pitches, drop-in ones, because we share our grounds with rugby, the winter code in New Zealand. So these drop-in portable pitches have been very firm and good pace in them, and quite good consistent bounce. There's a test match there, Christchurch, there where Nathan Astle blitzed that the fastest double 100, and earlier on he got 153 balls he faced for that double 100 and just smashed it to all parts. And not to forget Graham Thorpe, he got a double 100 that match as well. So batters dominated proceedings there, but it also had a bit of pace and bounce early on in it. It's a very, very good surface.
Cameron Cuffey has got 3 fielders on the offside. Square off the pitch for Sehwag. And he hits the ball on the leg side. The outfield is pretty thick, especially in that area, so that will give Sehwag a couple of runs. 18 overs gone, 42 for no wicket.
ओह माँ, काम के बाद लड़कियाँ घर आ रही हैं। मैंने कहा मैं उनके लिए चिकन करी बनाऊंगी, लेकिन अब मुझे नहीं मालूम मुझे क्या करना है।
अच्छा लिखो, पहले तो लेना अदरक।
आप जिस BT टुगेदर के मुफ्त शाम और वीकेंड के UK कॉल्स का पूरा फायदा उठा रही है।
Well, he's not quiet. He's blazed that one through the offside and to the boundary.
Yes, he is the kind of a player who loves to get on with the game, keeps the scorers busy, keeps the crowd entertained. That is what he loves to do. That's a lovely stroke. He made room for that, played it into the gap. They've got 4 fielders on the offside. No chance for the extra cover fielder.
And again, this time straight to cover. And the crowd also realizing that Sehwag might just want to up the tempo. 6 boundaries already in his 30. And most of them through the offside. He's got that away. That's a loose delivery. And it gets the treatment. The 50 comes up for India.
That's a very poor delivery from Nagamuthu. Now, I think the captain has to speak to him here. He's got to bowl a little slow. He's trying to bowl too many flippers there. That has been just directed away. Use the speed of the ball towards fine leg. Intelligent cricket from Virendra Sehwag, who looks up and high in confidence. Saw him play some lovely innings during the ICC trophy.
Nagamuthu just looking to push the ball through. He's got to vary his flight. He's better off if he does that. And Sehwag's in fine form at the moment. 3rd boundary of the over.
But I tell you what, Ravi, a spinner should be happy. He's played it in the air. That was a well-flighted delivery. This is exactly what he's got to do regularly. Now, that was in the air. There is the fielder placed there at short extra cover. A little bit of missed time. He'll go straight into the hands of that short extra cover fielder.
And Hooper doing the right thing now. He's got rid of the silly point. And he's got more cover on the offside for Nagamuthu. This is a much better field. He's got to allow Nagamuthu to settle down into a good line and length. He's got a man at short extra cover and 4 in the ring. .56 for no loss. Three fine shots in the last over. First one the best.